So Mary and I are here as the Quantum Connectors, and this is our first attempt as doing our YouTube live. But we had some technical difficulty that I have to sort out.
Yeah.
And so we're going to do the live another time um, because we love these channeled sessions. But for today, we're going to film it as kind of one video and then we'll post it on YouTube. And so that you can see our first attempt. Didn't go live, but will get filmed. And so some of your questions will get answered. We got some emails from people, text messages of some questions. So we're just going to go with those. And then, yeah, we love going in the quantum field and getting the answers. We get the answers through the heart to the deep I, the higher self. So all healing is self-healing, and all your questions are there in the field, and we're just kind of zoning in on the field. And I'll
Mhm.
have my eyes closed because I can't channel with my eyes open. I see as a seer, I see everything like a movie, and it kind of rolls in front of me and then the information comes through. So the images come first, this body sensations, and then the information. And Mary's job is really it's important because she's on the ground. So we're staying rooted to Gaia, to Mother Earth, um, to be able to really go high and far in the quantum field. So we're always going in all time spaces, wanting all the healings to be to the root cause. And I always say first incarnation, but that if you don't even believe in that, it doesn't matter. We're just going to wherever the time space that the answers need to come from.
Mhm. Yeah.
But it's always for your highest and greatest good.
Yeah.
That's very important. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Elaine. And well, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm sure most of you probably already know Elaine. We've been working together for a while. She's absolutely amazing and wonderful and brought a lot of great energy work and healing to me. And we're really excited to to combine as a quantum connectors. I've been working in QHHT and BQH for a good number of years as well. And it's really an honor to be here. And yeah, welcome to everyone. We have some questions, as Elaine said, we're going to go through them. I'll be kind of holding the space and guiding Elaine into the space, and then from there, she'll be channeling all the questions. So yeah, we have some there. And as we move forward with this, if you do happen to see this, you can always send us questions or join us live, and we will be attempting the live probably next week. But yeah, I don't think there's anything much more to add. Um, yeah, usually for the questions, we ask you to keep them specific just for yourself, or we're going to be working directly with the questions you have about yourself and not about other people, just to keep it internal. And then, yeah, we'll be giving you, yeah, just what comes through for you, that's right for you. And we thank you for your trust. And yeah, I think let's begin, Elaine, unless you want to add anything else. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. Yeah.
yeah,
Mary
yeah.
and I have done so many sessions together, and she's put me into the theta brain state, which I absolutely love.
Mhm.
So easily and seamlessly. So now it just takes me a few seconds where it used to take like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's like big progress. So, don't think, anybody can do this. It's always a choice, do you
Yeah.
want to? So,
Yeah,
but we love the theta brain state.
yeah, absolutely. We'll probably have about 10 to 15 minutes for each question, maybe a bit longer. Like I know there's a lot on the list, so if we don't get through yours today, we will circle back to it. So thanks for sending in your questions, and we'll see how we go. It's going to be about an hour. So yeah, let's get started.
Okay.
Um, so what we'll do, and whoever is watching this, you're welcome to, start and kind of close your eyes if you want to come into the process with this, if you do have questions. Um, I'm going to start with a little grounding. So Elaine, let's take three big cleansing breaths together, if you will. So we'll go
Okay.
in through the nose and then out through the mouth. So deep breath in and just out through the mouth. And again, deep inhale in and relax. One more time, deep inhale in. Just using the breath to just come into a nice state of stillness. So as we land here in the present moment, connecting to our hearts, and just continuing on with these deep breaths in and out. We are grounded in Gaia's loving and supportive energy. We are fully anchored with Gaia, and we give thanks to the ancestors of the land who have walked this path before us with much love and respect. We draw strength from Gaia, and we are centered in our own being, grounded and connected. We now open our hearts to Source. Our hearts are a sacred gateway for divine love, wisdom, and healing. We are fully aligned with Source energy, connected to all that is, to the golden light of our hearts. We now call upon our higher selves for answers, clearing, and alignment. May our higher selves be fully aligned with Source, guiding this session with love and clarity and the highest good for all. I will now protect the space with golden light. We now surround the space with a golden shield of light, impenetrable and protective. Only energies with unconditional love, Source, and the highest good may enter. All interference, false guides, or disruptive energies are repelled by Source's golden light. Elaine will now invite you to enter into the space.
Yeah, ready.
Okay.
Thanks.
Before we ask a question, we're going to set the intention for each question and each person for compassionate healing. So we now open the channel of unconditional love and compassion with Source. May all guidance that comes through serve the highest good, bring healing, clarity, and empowerment through Source. We now set the intention that all information and wisdom that comes through applies to all time, all space, and all dimensions, with the intention of clearing to the root cause and shifting energy across all realities. This energy work is permanent and aligned with the highest good of all with Source. Any energies that are not aligned with the highest good are now released and returned to Source for healing. We reinforce the golden shield of protection around this space. Only energies of divine truth and love are present. No false guides or interference can enter. So let's begin. The question from Michael, date of birth 1991, requesting an energy clearing and activating self-healing for fluctuating pain in abdominal flank on the left side and groin area, legs, hips that have been worrying him. What are the next steps and call in healing for this?
Okay, so right away for Michael, it's another time space. So some people call that a past life, but we know in the quantum field, it's all in the now. So it's in another time space. So sometimes in this life, the healings from another time space can happen through this body, but even this body has a different can be a different body, but the soul, your being, your oneness, travels in all time spaces. So it's one, you're one. So he's one, but maybe he's had different bodies or no bodies. Kind of. We're just going to talk like we're just going to say it, and then you decide what you believe is true because it's getting muddled. So we're just going to say it the way we see it, and then you decide what you believe. Okay, so for Michael, it is another time space. So we could call that a past life if he believes that. So for that healing and clearing for the left side of the body, there was, we're seeing like a, like a spear went in to the side of the body there through the hip. And then right now, kind of everybody's clearing in all time spaces for the present moment. So it's up, basically, his higher self is saying, let's clear this because this is holding him back in terms of like activating his consciousness in the present. So we're not going to get into the details of that except to show that he'll probably know as soon as we say it, he'll be able to see it himself. So there was like an attack. Um, so obviously he was like a light worker, or he was there to activate change. He was there to bring in consciousness. And so then there was an attack. So the body remembers, and then because the body takes the hit for the soul. And then so it's something that the body says, the body wants it witnessed, that it went through this trauma, went through this tragedy, but it is willing to let it go, but it wants acknowledgement, like a witness, a mirroring, like a true mirror consciousness to to mirror that, yes, he did this in service, and that everybody is safe now. He is safe now. Michael is safe now. His body is safe now in the present moment. So we're just basically turning that spear into gold, and gold light from source, and then we're just clearing it from his field. So even there's no energetic after effects, that if he says yes to healing it, so we feel it in his heart. It broke his heart. So it broke his heart to have been betrayed that way. So the body is the reminder that there was this betrayal that is hard to release, but we can feel it, that it hurts his heart in his present life now. It's the right side of his heart. So we're clearing it from that other time space, but it is affecting him in this life now. So we're just clearing it and bringing in the source gold light to clear it. And then, so that the spear looks like a big, long spear, like a wooden spear that's very pointy. So that's, anyways, we don't want to get too much in the visuals, but it's cleared now. So it's been returned to source. And that's the greatest healing, is not retaliation, but a full healing is releasing it back to source. And then everybody's karma, or yeah, everybody's lessons of that time space is then returns to source, which returns to everybody. So you don't have to carry other people's betrayals. You can release them to source. So he said yes, so he's released it to source. So now it's basically, we look at it and it looks like it disintegrates, kind of turns into golden dust, and then it's released from his field, but in all time spaces. So there, now he's more straight and aligned. And then the heart, he needed to know, well, what happens? What's the retribution? What's the, like, people can't just do whatever they want. So we're just letting his heart know that, not everybody's consciousness may be at his level of consciousness, because he was there as a healer and as a, to activate his light, and then to help other people, but not everybody is in his position of consciousness. And so we're saying to him, he doesn't have to um, do anything except for release it, everyone to source, and let source work out everybody involved. And so then he can just stay with his heart, and he can just stay with his intention. And then he did all the right things. He came to have like a mission, to, like, as a healer, and in that time space, and he did it. So he can know that that has been recorded, that his intention was recorded in all time spaces, and he did what he had wanted to accomplish, he accomplished. So his heart now understands that. His heart is like, okay, because he thought all the things that he did were for nothing, because he died in like a tragic way. But no, it was all recorded, and now his heart knows. No, intention and his healings and his helping all mattered. And then now we need the overall healing, which is to release it to source. So his heart says yes, his body says yes, he says yes, and then the field is now clear. So we're just going to bring in the gold and the golden light from source into the heart. So it's really a hard heartbreak for him. He's like wanted justice for it. So it's a real hard heartbreak to release. So we're just saying, release it to source, release it to consciousness. And then that is the most that is the most empowering and the most powerful thing to do, is just to know that through your eyes, you did everything you were meant to do. And we can't control other people. And everyone is at different consciousness levels. And some are not here as helpers, that some are here as destroyers. So, consciousness is chosen. So he'll understand that now. And then his heart. So as we're speaking, we can feel his heart. It's like a heart wall. Um, so it would have blocked his love life in this life. It would have blocked him receiving love. It would have blocked him um, activating his self-love. So, because he registered it as a betrayal. So why would he open his heart in this life if he feels betrayed? So, and then we're hearing outside. So in terms of sound healing, we use the exterior environment, and there's like metal clanging and a banging. So it's like really was hardened in there. But it's the sound frequency of the banging is actually, it's like metal and metal, but it is clearing. It's clearing. So it's clearing. So it was very embedded. So it may have seemed like it came through the hip, but really it really hit his heart. So we're just clearing his heart. And then there's different layers of the heart. But we're seeing that actually it was very embedded and very blocked. So it would have blocked self-love. And that's actually the most important thing, self-love and self-healing. So, but the events need to be witnessed. And so it's been witnessed now. And so just banging in the, just using the sound of the banging to just, it's going to send vibrations through all time spaces. So kind of to us, it looks like this, like a rippling. And it's like, well, it's healing in the present moment, but it's rippling out to all time spaces. So we're just sending the golden light from source in all time spaces, but releasing the heart wall. So this is actually a really big activation for him. But this is not just for him. This same scenario has happened to many light workers, many starseeds, many empaths, many sensitives. So we're just like vibrating it out and then bringing in, so we can really see the golden light from source is here, and it's really filling up his heart with source's gold light, and just really anchoring. This is actually a big healing, because his question actually represents a lot of light workers, or many that are on earth now, that betrayal of, while you're in service. So, we always say, release everything to us. We can work with you, from the source level of consciousness. And we don't want you to hold the burdens of the past or any time spaces. We want you to feel the fullness of your own heart, the self-love of your heart, the consciousness of your heart in the present moment. So we're really bringing in the gold light. So actually now we're going to do a source reset for his heart. So, and anybody can have that. They can ask for a source reset, which means it resets the heart to its original blueprint in all time spaces. So he will have to, drink a lot of water. We're going to suggest because energy work and energy clearing can be very dehydrating. So we really want him to, so we're holding this right now. This hand is holding and stabilizing the present body. So Michael's present body. And then this hand is the left. So we're clearing in all time spaces using the left hand. But it's like a marker where we're anchoring down to Gaia, to the crystalline grid in all time spaces. So we're really, you know, we're really grounding this into Gaia, into Mother Earth, where real healing happens on Earth through the body, through the heart. So, yeah, so it's releasing his, we can call it a heart wall. And then, but basically, it's blocking self love. And then self love, real love only gets mirrored through self love. So, this is a big activation and clearing, but his higher self wanted this for him. So this is really important. This is really good that he asked this question. So it can seem about the body in this present time, but it's from another time. So we're just anchoring it in, but really for anybody, you know, anyone that relates to this. And then just breathe and let go and just let the softness of source come into your heart. Let the softness of source, this golden light, just come into your heart and just start kind of like we're seeing with his heart, like a swirling and a clearing, like a spiral. It's not a circle. That's a loop. It's a spiral. It's a spiral to source. So we're seeing that, you know, it's almost like he forgot his compass. He forgot that it's not a loop, it's a spiral. So we're seeing that he can release now like a spiral to source. So he knows this. We just heard he knows. So he but is spiraling. And then just, it's with always with ease and grace, you know. These are big activations and clearings, but you know, we really are, you know, want to be gentle with the body. And these clearings are very deep. So we want you know, to everybody to be very gentle with themselves. And you don't realize in these activations how deep they're going. So he'll have the dreams to reinforce the clearing and the activations, and he'll also feel different. He's gonna feel like, whoa, like my heart is like kind of puffing out of my chest. He's gonna feel his heart, which is going to shock him because he's used to that being blocked with the heart wall. So but he's gonna feel his heart. His heart is open. We would say so just um, releasing. We got it to about 70%, which is really good in one activation. And then just what he can do to anchor this is just bring in the gold light from source. And he can actually put his hand on his heart. That's actually very nurturing to do, is to just because it reminds you to connect with your heart, connect with your higher self, and then connect to source. And then just hold it there. Hold his being. Another word is his soul. Hold his being, his soul. But the deep I, that's Eckhart Tolle's word, the deep I in his heart, through the heart. And then, so the construction now that has finished, so we're hearing like a beep, 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 beep. So it's like helping kind of bring in the vibration of the healing and the clearing and the energy work. So it's activating the self healer. And then these kind of are clearings and activations. And then once your heart is connected and open to source, and then you can really allow the love to come in from source, and then you can mirror that love, that self love out. So it's like source comes in, through the heart and then beams out through the heart. So his love life will probably be very good after this. We're seeing. Yeah, he'll be good. And then we can't remember what was the second question. Was there another?
Yeah, the question was, energy clearing and activating self-healing, which we've done. And
Oh,
then there
good.
was
Yeah.
pain in the abdominal flank and the groin
Mm,
area that's been worrying him, the kind of leg
yeah.
hips. So I feel like you guys have definitely covered all that.
Okay.
Is there anything else you wanted to finish up with or add for Michael? Any message that you might have?
Yeah. Be open to love.
Yeah.
It'll be quite exciting.
Yes, I love that. Thank you so much. And you did hit on a very important point. Like, we're having questions in from specific people, but this is for everyone. So anyone listening to this, or connected in any way, like this healing is for everyone, not just Michael. So I also felt that healing coming through. So thank you. It's for the collective always.
Yeah, always.
We're
Yeah.
all one. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's move on to our next question. Once again, we're going to set the intention for compassionate healing. This will be for Jane, date of birth 1982. So we now open the channel of unconditional love and compassion with Source for Jane. May all guidance comes true that serve the highest good, bringing healing, clarity, and empowerment through Source. We now set the intention that all information that comes through and wisdom applies to all time, all space, across all dimensions, with the intention to clearing to the root cause and shifting energies across all realities. This energy work is permanent and aligned with the highest good of all its source, with the intention that all energies in this space are fully aligned with source, unconditional love and truth. We enforce the golden shield of protection around the space. Our energies of divine love and truth only are present, and no false guides or interference can enter. So now that the space is set up, Jane wants to know how to clear her energy field when she's out in public. And so she doesn't look weird at the end. Thanks, Jane.
Yeah. So she's not chanting out loud on the bus. Yeah. So the fast, so thank you to Jane for asking that. That is a really good question. So, because it can be very overwhelming when you're sensitive and empath, light worker, starseed, intuitive, um, because you're picking up energies from other people. So, how to clear really quickly is we're saying connect through the heart. Just even imagine, or maybe if you feel comfortable, you can put your hand on your heart. Nobody's really going to notice. You're on the bus and you put your hand on the heart. Maybe other people then will remind them to put their hands on their hearts. But you can just either intentionally or put your hand on your heart and then just connect through the heart to your higher self or the deep I, whatever phrase works for you. And then just ask Source to surround you with a bubble of gold light. So we can do that now. So we're just imagining Jane, she's putting her hand on her heart and she's putting a gold bubble around her whole self. So what we're seeing right away, the right eye, which is this life now, it's like hurting. And so she right away we heard her say, she can't see. She can't see. So it's like puts a pressure on her to see a golden bubble. And so we're just going to say to her, the intention is what matters. Okay. So some people are strong seers. Some people are very strong with their auditory, their ears, clairaudience. Some are feelers, they can feel energy more than they can see energy. So, and some people are more comfortable feeling than seeing. Lots of people are afraid if they see, what are they going to see? Well, they're going to see source and all the love. That's what they're going to see. So we're going to say to her, whatever sense she uses. So I feel the golden bubble around me. I feel source's golden bubble around me. or I hear that source's golden bubble is around me, or I know that source has a bubble of gold light around me. And gold light is really in the now on earth because of the shifts, and Gaia is earth of 7 and 8th and 9th dimensions. So earth has gone from 1 dimension, 2 dimension, 3 dimension, and then Tara was 4, 5, 6, and then now anchoring into the crystalline grid of Gaia. So you can just imagine a golden bubble from source, or just say, I know there is a golden bubble of source around me, and I am connected through my heart. And then don't give up. Don't give up. Don't be like, oh, it doesn't work. I was so drained after I was on the bus. Just keep, it's not practice, but keep remembering to ask your higher self for that is consciousness. But don't give up. Just keep practicing. Just not even practicing, just keep knowing that this is happening for you. Because this is energy work. This is in the ether. So intention matters. So just even having the intention, it matters. And then if you do feel overwhelmed, you can just say, higher self, like release this energy or whatever I'm feeling. Can you release this to source? So heart, and then connecting to your higher self or the deep eye, and then putting a golden bubble of source around you, and then using whatever sense is available that you trust. Do you trust feeling, your gut instinct, your vibes? Then use that. If you are a seer and you love to see things visually, then use that. If you are very attuned to smells or your ears, then we're just going to clear for her 1 minute. So just clearing, what we heard right away is like, this is weird. But she knows it on some level, that that intention is powerful and energy is powerful. Like we all can feel energy. So we're saying to her, just try it. Just trust us for this time, and then just practice. And it will get easier. The more you tune in, the easier it will become. And then it'll be like brushing your teeth. Oh, I'm putting this golden bubble from source around me. And then that's available for everyone. Okay, there's no special people. There's no special anything. It's available for everyone that asks. So it's asking, it's intention, and then through the heart, nothing can be you cannot be interfered with through the heart. So we're looking at her. So she's like, okay, she's kind of like, she's willing. So that's it. We just need the willingness to try. So yeah, we'll say thank you, Jane, and thank you. We can close this for Jane, and she can practice, or anyone that wants to practice.
All right, thank you. I always say, you would never leave the house without, on a cold day without a coat, but so often we leave the house without putting the energy on. So a great reminder to, yeah, just put that bubble on before you leave, and kind of making it more mainstream that like our energy, just because we can't see it all the time, like it's so it's very important. So thanks for that reminder, and maybe even having a little signpost on your on your door just saying bubble like this. I love the signpost and just the reminders for everyone. So thank you for that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, exactly. Put it right on your door. Big
Get it right.
sign.
Yeah, yeah, the pointer.
Mhm.
Just getting into that mindset. Okay, so thank you for that for Jane, for the collective. So let's move on to the next question. So the next one is from Katrina. Date of birth is 1991. So let's
Okay.
create the attention for compassionate healing for Katrina first. So we now open the channel of unconditional love for Katrina, compassion with source. May all guidance that come through serve her highest good, bringing healing, clarity, and empowerment through Source. We now set the intention that all information and wisdom that comes through applies to all time, all space, and all dimensions, with the intention of clearing to the root cause and shifting energies across all realities. This energy work is permanent and aligned with the highest good of all with Source, with the intention that all energies in the space are fully aligned with Source, unconditional love, and truth. All energies that are not aligned with the highest good are now released and returned to Source for healing. We reinforce our golden shield of protection around this space, and only energies of divine truth and love are present, and no false guides or interference can enter. Okay,
Good.
so for Katrina, she's a couple of questions. So maybe I'll read all of them out and then we'll see which, and I can retell them afterwards. Maybe we won't have time for all of them, but let's see what ones we can get through. So I'll read them all
Okay.
first. So first question is, what's coming in 2026, right around the corner? What is happening to the light workers right now? For example, being wide awake at 3 to 5 a.m. from the spiritual attack. Is this from a spiritual attack or something else, especially on December 12th? And how to have a safe and restful sleep. So maybe you can kind of give a summary answer. They're all kind of interconnected. Yeah.
Okay. Um, so so we're just looking at, so right away we could hear, an ambulance, we could hear the ambulance in the background. So right away, as soon as we set the intention to look into Katrina's field, is we did like a quick energy clearing. So anything that is not for her highest and greatest good has, and then I feel like money's coming in for her. So we're saying money's coming in for her. That's coming in around the corner. So, but now, and especially in 2026, so she's going to have a better financial footing, more financial, more abundance overall coming in for her. And then right away, we kind of cleared her energy through sound frequencies, so through the sound of the ambulance, and that kind of sharp sound just cleared her field. So anything that she doesn't need anymore can clear. So like the um, so the energies leading up to now, so we have the winter solstice soon, and then December 12/12 was a big portal that opened, and then the winter solstice on the 21st of December, and then so those are like two like really big portals. So a lot of what we want to call the muck, the low vibrations, the fear, the guilt, the um looping, the looping of fear, the looping of sadness, the looping of guilt. We brought in a lot of vibration through sound and also through source light on earth. So that many people have been getting activations, but they're also getting clearings. And it's always your free will choice, right? So earth is free will, so you choose if you say yes. So any of those times where, say, you talk to a few people and they all were up at 3 and 5, but then were just rattled beforehand. So what we're seeing is that she was totally rattled, and many were rattled in that portal of the December 12/12. So the 12th day in the 12th month, so 12/12. But what it did was recalibrate your nervous system, it recalibrated your energy systems, but especially it dislodged what is no longer for you. So it was like that portal, or even the solstice is like, it's like clearing out. Well, that the 12/12 was like a clearing. So we're clearing now for her more. Um, but this winter solstice was like the love came in. That's the portal that opened the love, so that you can feel the love from source more easily. and then trust yourself, trust your own intuition, trust your senses, and then let things go. You know, the looping, like, you know, um, it's not, you're not looping, it's the mind that's looping and repeating, but the mind is connected to, it sounds personal because it's in your own voice, but why we why many light workers or star seeds or empaths or sensitives felt that same way on the 1212 portal is that it isn't personal, that this is kind of like a system, like an overlay that has been put on earth, and then that overlay is being removed and dismantled. um you know it's done. So it's, earth is transitioning to Gaia, with or without us. So the the you know the transformations and the activations are actually quite, like, cataclysmic is the word we want to use. We are shaking out the nervous system, we are shaking out the cells so that more light and more love can come into the cells. And yeah, more light and love both, and then the cells activate, and when the cells activate, the light body's on, and if your light body is on, then then all your senses are on, and then you're, a real human being with your senses, and you can feel your heart, and you can hear, see, sense things, like being a multidimensional being on earth in an earth body. So you're not popping out of your body, right? That's spiritual bypassing, that's siphoning. So when you pop out of your crown or pop out of your body, this is the work of the heart. This is deep into the deep eye through the heart. So um and then it takes that enormous trust, knowing that actually everything is for your highest and greatest good. Like, your higher self is there to help you, and your higher self is your highest vibrational being. So what does that mean? You know, it means that everything you've done to activate your light body, the light inside of you, to activate your heart on earth, resonates to a certain frequency in all times and dimensions. We're here and we're feeling a lot of intensity in the third eye. So the energy center in the third eye, it's like, there's so much fear to see, but that's just because there's been so many overlays. But the mind is what creates fear. The mind is what creates the distortions. But we've mostly been focusing on the mind, but this work is through the heart. So the more, so right away, what we're seeing is Katrina's first impulse, and this isn't just her, but this is for many, is to go with fear, that, she's rattled around and so she's afraid. Well, it makes sense, right? So she got frightened. But as soon as you get frightened, connect back with your heart and connect with the deep eye, connect with your higher self, and just say, look, I need help. Bring me source light and help me calm my nervous system, help me calm my body, help me get in my body. Maybe that's the first start. Help me get in my body or back in my body and really connected to Gaia, to really feel Gaia's love and healing in the vibration of love and healing. So the more rooted, the more safe and secure. So that's like another true attachment, because the body is connected to Gaia, and the body will feel safe the more it connects with Gaia. So we've been saying to many people, the fast track right now is to put your feet, bare feet, actually on the land, on the earth, or even in the ocean. So it just makes the energy flow through you more quickly. So if you want a fast track, that's a fast track. And then another fast track is to connect with the heart and then talk to your higher self, the deep I. Your higher self is always there to be there for you to answer your questions. And but your higher self is connected to source and all that there is, the all. And so your higher self is your high vibrational being and is there to help you. So if you don't trust anybody or anything, trust your own higher self because it is you as a multidimensional consciousness. Whew. So let's see if that helps shift things. So releasing the neck, the tension in the neck and the shoulders. It's mostly fear. She's been the mind has really gripped her with fear because she's had a lot of transitions. Um, we're seeing work, relationships, so lots of change. So we're seeing she's had a lot of change, and change can create fear. And so we're saying, connect with your heart, connect with your higher self, the deep I, and then connect to source, connect to consciousness. So we're just clearing her body. I don't know, the hand kind of has everything here. So what we're doing is we're calming her nervous system. So we're just going up and down, kind of healing her spine, her nervous system. So right from the atlas all the way down, releasing the hips. And yeah, and we're just kind of putting a blanket of source gold light over her nervous system, like a blanket, but this can be for anybody. So, as one heals, we all heal. That's Mary's one-liner. So, like, you know, so we're going to put a golden seal on her nervous system, and that will really calm down the fear and release the fear. Because that's the most important thing is if the fear comes in, the more you can be in that 0 point of consciousness of neutrality, oh, that's, the fear. Oh, I heard that fear 100 times or a million times. And so, okay, I'm just gonna be neutral. I'm gonna sit with it. But we're gonna help her be able to sit with it by calming her nervous system down by first of all, bringing in source gold light into the nervous system. But then now we're gonna put a blanket as well over her nervous system from source, the gold light from source. And then now the next thing will be that we will seal it with the gold light from source. So we're sealing actually her whole field. So say the hands are the whole field. So we're just going to put a gold seal around her whole being, not just the nervous system. So we started with the nervous system because that's what was getting agitated. It looked like this to us, like that. So now that's how powerful fear is. That's how powerful the mind is. But the mind is not powerful when consciousness comes in. As soon as consciousness comes in, your higher self, the deep I, that's a lot of light. And then the fear goes, oh, and then, disappears because they don't like a lot of light. They need to kind of do all of this stuff scaring you in the dark. They need you to not be conscious. They need you not to be aware that you are not fear, that this is something that the mind is activating and playing, looping in your mind. But it is affecting the nervous system. But it's not just for one, it's for all. So it affects everybody. So we're just now looking at her whole field and then looking at her nervous system and then stabilizing it with a golden seal from source. And then we're like, and then well, and then she should feel a lot better. Okay, so this activation and this clearing, she'll feel a lot better. And then we're turning down the volume of the mind so that the mind is like a mouse, like a pipsqueak. So instead of booming, frightening her all the time, we're turning down the volume. So yeah, because the mind doesn't like a lot of light, especially source light. It doesn't like to be um, seen. It likes to work in the dark. So that's why, she's having a lot of nightmares at night till about 3 a.m. But really, that's just because that's the mind. And then the higher self says enough, and then usually comes online between 3 and 6. So we're just clearing, we're just soothing, because obviously this has been going on for a long time. And maybe even we want to say other time spaces. So, but a long time, the grip of fear has really had her in the mind. So we're just going to turn down the volume and see how her body responds. And yeah, that's good. Her spine's good. So now she's activated and you can see the physical change. Um, yeah, she's good. Okay. We're going to say, we're going to leave her with that. But knowing that this is a real activation and that this is a real transformation. And then again, she can just focus on bringing in the gold light from source. That's, we're looking at it, that is the fastest way to really calm anything down is gold light from source. So yeah, so we're going to say thank you to Katrina for coming forward. Those are good questions. Okay, I think,
Thank you to Katrina. And from what I'm hearing from you, she can expect to actually start having more restful sleeps. I think that was her ask.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Money is coming around the corner and also opportunities. So more
Mhm.
abundance. Yeah.
Okay, well, lots to look forward to so then for Katrina.
Mhm.
More sleep and more abundance. Sounds great. So we are getting to the end of our hour. I don't think we're going to have time for another question, but I do want to maybe just ask, is there any messages just for the collective or any kind of collective healing that you feel would be appropriate or energy work to kind of do for whoever's watching this and yeah, to invite that in right now.
Yeah, to just really know that the mind, the conscious mind, is seems very powerful because it's like has this booming voice.
Hmm.
But the conscious mind, okay, there's this movie called The Wizard of Oz, and they were going on the golden path, right? So that's Source's golden path. And then there's this booming voice yelling and frightening them. And they're like, I don't know, there's a few of them together and they're all like shaking, so afraid. That's the conscious mind. It has a really big bark and a repetition bark. So, and then you pull back the curtain and they found it was this scared little man, using like technology to boom out these fears. That's not very far off. That's a good representation of how the mind works. So what we're saying to people is they can turn down the volume to the conscious mind, and you can imagine like a dial. We can also, what's come through is you can actually say, I'm closing the door right now to the conscious mind because I just want to be with my higher self. So the higher self consciousness. And so you can like imagine closing a door. So turning down the volume, closing the door. And the other thing is say it's like there's a message and it's like, I don't know, we heard this a lot, but we're just gonna pick one random one where it's like, oh, I'm such a loser. And we're like, you're a light being. But anyways, that's the conscious mind. So the conscious mind is saying, oh, you're such a loser. So that message comes in. So say somebody mirrors that to you. So say you're talking to somebody and they're like, oh, you're such a loser. And you're like, oh my God, this is like my friend. How can they be talking to me, Um, like that, but use it as a mirror. So maybe they're speaking about themselves, maybe not, but take that opportunity to be like, yeah, well, where in my field am I a loser? Like, sit in it with your nervous system, sit in it with your body. I am a loser. And then just see your nervous system will usually be like, because it's like wanting to reject it because it's not true. So, you're connected to source, you're a divine being. So your body knows that it's like receiving this information, but it's false. So it's trying to vibrate it out of the body, trying to vibrate it out of the system.
Mm,
So you can just sit with it and be like, okay, this person mirrored this, and I'm not taking it personally, even though you are taking it personally. But just say to yourself, I'm not in this moment, I'm just going to practice. I'm
mm,
not going to take it personally, and I'm going to sit with my heart and connect to my higher self. And I want my higher self to clear this, but clear this in my field, clear this in my consciousness
mhm,
and release it to source because I want source to deal with this. I want source to take this on, or consciousness, or the divine. Eckhart uses the word divine presence, or you can just say the divine. I want the divine to take care of this. I want
mhm,
my higher self to take care of this. I want the deep I to take care of this. I want my heart to take care of this. I want
mhm.
whatever is mirrored to me, I want to be neutral so that my nervous system does not react, and then see how I feel and then just practice.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
makes sense. You can use those opportunities to just get rid of it entirely out of your system. It sounds like, as if I'm hearing you right. So just
Yeah.
that the loser example, maybe you've heard that, maybe it's from childhood, past life, and then when you get someone activates that, you just sit and use that as an opportunity to just say, get rid of it once and for all. Or as you said, it's just going to keep showing up and showing up and showing up. So yeah, that's really wonderful and very simple technique. And it's like you said, just that intention and that connection to the heart space. And I always love that. Give it a source. We always try and do everything ourselves. And it's like there's so much help and abundance. Just calling it in and knowing how to ask and just asking. Yeah.
Yeah. We felt it's actually a very touching question, because we would never talk to you like that.
Mm,
Source would never talk to you like that. Source would never say, you're a loser. Source
mm,
would never, ever say that. Your higher self would never, ever speak to you that way. The
mm,
conscious mind is like a box you can imagine that has all these scribbles, you know, and then it has these loops of like repeating the same thing over and over and over and over again. But it's like static. And that's why it's so agitating to the nervous system.
mm, mhm,
So, but if you take it into your heart and then let it, let your whole system, which is your higher self, work with it. So,
mhm. Amazing. Um, So we just thank you so much for all the help and information you've been giving everyone. We really appreciate you, Source, and all the higher energy beings and that were here, all the people who came with questions. Thank you for your vulnerability and your honesty and the healing that went out to everyone. I'm going to close the space and we welcome Elaine back once this is closed. Um, so we give thanks to Source, our higher selves, our guides of unconditional love, and Gaia. Thank you for the love, wisdom, and protection you have shared. May all energies from this session continue to support for the highest good. We will now seal this practice in divine golden light. All energy work is anchored and integrated. The space is now closed with love and gratitude. Only Source's golden light and unconditional love remain present. With much love and much thanks to everyone who participated, and we will see you next time.
okay, great. I'm back. Whoa. Wow. That was
Yeah,
really
yeah,
Thanks,
yeah.
Mary.
No
You're
problem.
awesome.
Yeah, we
You're
will.
so great at holding the field. I can
Yeah.
feel it. I can feel
Mhm.
it. It's
Amazing.
amazing.
Yeah. So let's finish up maybe the recording and then
Yeah.
yeah, let's say goodbye to everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone.
Thanks,
And
everyone. And
Oh yeah, you go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say, see you in the next one. And when we started the session, there was like a guy, a construction guy in front of my window hauling up this huge, heavy wood, and I showed Mary on the video, and then now the work has been completed. So whatever we did was
Yeah.
very heavy lifting. It was
Yeah.
very earth-based because it was wood. And the little guardians or angels or whatever you want to, the guides that came through is we're going to do this work efficiently in this session, which I feel like we did. We kind of went right to the root cause, and it's going to really bring in a lot of abundance. And the guides of integrity have come in to help us.
Hmm.
um, and then from Kuan Yin, this little message also came through. I always pull cards just before every session, and then they just want to let everybody know that you're a beautiful human. Okay, you're a beautiful human, and we can do this together.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Love that. Thank you, Elaine. And yeah, if you happen to come across this video on YouTube and you're watching it, you can email Elaine questions. Or if you're looking for a private session, we're also going to be doing this where you can ask as many questions as you want, and then we kind of come together, myself and Elaine, and we'll record it and send it out to you so you can just like have all that like good energy work done through us. We're going to here help and support you, so yeah, reach out to Elaine. I think all her details are there on YouTube. And yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks. All right, see you in the next one.